If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow us here on. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today is January 30th, 2020, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, one event coming out of Great Britain, MPC official bank rate that's coming out at 2 o'clock South African time. Now, this is an interest rate just as important as last night's FOMC for the Great Britain. Okay, now looking at yesterday's FOMC, we'll talk about that as well. But looking at the GBP right before this rate decision, it's trading at the bottom of the range. I don't know if that's a heads up, okay, just in case, but we're going to take a look at that. And then Canadian dollar testing its resistance after oil failed that bounce, okay? We're going to take a look at the Dow Jones giving up a rally after the FOMC maintained its current stance, okay? And looking at the commodities, gold bounces as a result, okay, back to 1570-ish level, and oil fails to maintain that bounce, and we mentioned that before, and thereby causing the Canadian dollar to weaken versus the USD. Now, lastly, looking at the stocks, Microsoft and Facebook both blow their quarterly earnings and through record highs, new record highs for both of them. Okay, so this is really important because the markets are having a divergence right now. The Dow Jones is weak and some of the stocks are strong. So one of the two is going to happen. Either the stocks are going to catch up to the market and going to correct itself, or vice versa. Okay, generally it's vice versa because these two components, especially Microsoft and Facebook, maintain a very strong hand on the markets. Now, lastly, looking at Amazon, set to report quarterly earnings before the U.S. markets opens this afternoon at about 330-ish level. Okay, that's the time when it's going to come out. But let's take a look at the market at the Euro USD, and we're pretty much trading flat at this 130 level. Now, the GBP is cursed right now, okay, with a couple of things. Brexit's still in the background, okay, still not happening yet. And there's the aftermath of that as well, okay, especially as this rate decision comes out. This is a major event for the price of the GBP, okay? So if there's any sort of favorable information, I think the markets will actually rally on it. Looking at the Canadian dollar, we're looking at a daily chart of the Canadian dollar, and you could see that we, want to sustain this level. Okay, and this is happening all at the same time as oil is testing its lows as well. Okay, so look at this. We're trading at 132. If we break this above it, okay, simultaneously, I'm going to jump to oil as well just to show you what I mean by this. Oil is trading so close to that 52.35, also testing that level. All right, so if this does break it, then I expect Canadian dollar to actually break this top side as well, okay, as they trade together. So keep that in mind as this unfolds later today. Now, jumping into gold, resilient here at 1579. We hit a low of 1569. We didn't break further than our 1565, and we're sustaining that strength. Okay, so I do believe, like I said before, we'll be trading in a range here. Okay, the top part 1586, lower part is 1560-ish level, and we're getting close to that upper limit. So chasing this at this stage, I think is premature. Okay, and the move is already done. Okay, now jumping into the Dow Jones, we sold off tremendously yesterday. Okay, look at that on a 4-hour chart. Let's look at a 1-hour chart to give us perspective. We were trading all the way up to 28,828. Now, this could possibly set up for ourselves a double bottom, okay, because the stock markets are still strong. So despite what the FOMC decides, whatever the federal government decides to do with the interest rates, stocks are still going higher. Regulations are still much more at ease, making way for some of these companies to make much more of headway where they weren't able to do it before. Now, let's take a look at Apple. That was our one, 323. We made all-time highs yesterday, hit even 327 after pairing those gains. However, looking at it, if we do fill this gap, okay, because we had a bunch of gap and goes, all right, if we do fill this gap, then it might mean a turnaround for the price of Apple. Might, okay? I'm not celebrating that way too soon, okay? Because this has really been the strongest one on the board. Now, looking at Facebook, also hitting all-time new highs, 222 for the year, okay? And as that happens, 222, we're breaking out higher, okay? If this can sustain itself, if Facebook does get around to bringing out Libra, it's going to change the face of everything. Okay, really tremendous impact on the market. Now, jumping to Amazon, as it will have quarterly earnings today. It also sold off earlier in the week, did bounce, make that bounce, but it hasn't sold off as much as the rest of the market. So maybe that's letting us know that it's going to go higher. Perhaps, okay? We're going to keep this on our, on our window just to see how this is going to unfold later today, trading at 1857. Now, Amazon is one of the FANG stocks, one of the things that have taken us all-time highs. If we look at a weekly chart just to give us a perspective, we're about 250 points away from our all-time highs. We did challenge this area. Amazon is probably one of the strongest companies in the world right now, okay? They are really global. They're really worldwide, okay? So with that said, if there's going to be regulation on them, if there's going to be some sort of hindrance on their ability to do the businesses that they want to go into, because they're going into almost everything. I think they're even going into insurance business as well as they enter this quarter, okay? They keep on coming up with new ideas of what to do to fulfill new business goals. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.